Yeah, that's it.
You can see us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can look at the camera on here.
Yeah. So you can just look. You can look, but don't keep your head down. Like just, yeah. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Yon, deux, trois, allez, let's go. Hello everyone. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bienvenue. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Shantice and this is my gwanpapa, my granddad, Mr. Prento.
Yes.
Do you want to say hello?
Hello. My name is Marsha, but they call me Pento as a nickname.
Yes. Alright, so this is my granddad, and for those that do not know, my granddad is from Saint Lucia, which is a small island in the West Indies, and this month of October is actually Creole month, or also known as Jounen Kweyol month. So basically it's a month of celebrating traditional history, tradition and culture and language amongst all Saint Lucians in Saint Lucia and also globally as well. So I thought it would be a good idea and a fun idea to film a video with my granddad. So we actually filmed a video similar to this, but it was called the Saint Lucian tag, and I'll tag it below. We done that, oh my gosh, maybe 6 years ago. That was a long time ago, before I had my son. So I thought it would be nice in now 2022 to re-record it, but do it specifically for Jounen Kweyol month. So I'm going to be asking my granddad a few questions, then at the end we are going to teach you and show you some basic Creole words that you can use whether you are Saint Lucian or you want to learn Creole, which I'm in the process of doing, and it's been amazing. So let's get into the video. You ready, Grandad?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's go. Anuale.
Anuale.
What do you love about Saint Lucia?
Well, Saint Lucia is a very good island. Plenty of sea around. Always when I go down, always have us. By the way, I'm living in London, but I'm always in Saint Lucia. And make sure I got my sea bag before I return back to London.
And how long have you been in London for? When did you come to
I come to London 1960s, a long time, but I always back in Saint Lucia to the Paradise Island. And also I was 1972. I was working for the government in Saint Lucia, what they used to call funding scheme. In Union in Saint Lucia, I was a heavy equipment operator for funding scheme in Saint Lucia. And I do a lot of works, road works in Saint Lucia, a place called Beauchamp. I plowed that land for Atkinson to plant some ackee. I do the road work. I done some schoolhouse in Deriso with a crane.
You've done a lot, Grandad.
I've done in Black Bay. I plowed some land in Black Bay for a fellow they call Smith to plant vegetable. Well, I do a lot of work over the island for public work, what they call funding scheme. So I'm very proud of my island, and I'm always there every year. From the time I retire, I always go to Saint Lucia every year. So
you there's a lot of things you love about Saint Lucia, but you love everything about it. The people, the food, everything.
The food, the culture, the boogie, excuse me. Every Saturday, Saturday, every Friday night we go to Grosil at night sometimes. January fish night on a Saturday, ancillary or Canaries. So I had a lot of good time in Saint Lucia. That's why I love Saint Lucia.
Good, amazing. And who taught you Creole? Who taught you how to speak Creole?
Well, I raised up with my mom and my dad, and they were speaking patois in the house. That's how I picked it up. But when we used to go to school, there was no patois in the school. It's only English. So
when my granddad was going to school, Creole was basically like forbidden. It was like you basically couldn't.
You couldn't speak Creole in the school.
No, and if you did, it would be
the schoolmaster will put a bit of cane into your back.
Yeah, basically. So bad. It wouldn't be good. So for you, it was mainly when you was home, if you was around family, like in your community.
Yeah.
A lot. Would you say most of your community spoke Creole?
Creole. Well, all the community where I raised up in Miko and Deriso is all Creole. All the people speak Creole there.
Amazing.
Apart from in the school.
But now, Grandad, and it's been happening for a few years, which is, it's very important, because especially the younger generation, this is how we preserve the language. This is how the language carries on forever, because you know the younger generation has to learn it, right?
Yeah,
so now I believe that they are teaching it in school. I know Saint Lucia,
I heard that they are teaching in school now, but I'm not 100% sure about it.
But I've heard, and I see a lot of things you know, shared online, and obviously we're not in Saint Lucia, but we follow a lot of Saint Lucia news and stuff like that, and yeah, the language is being promoted. It needs to be promoted more, like in other aspects, but it is being promoted.
That's right.
Which is good. Amazing. What Saint Lucian traditions do you remember growing up? What's like cultural traditions that you remember, or you used to like, or did you see growing up?
Well, when I was raised up in Saint Lucia, there was not things like now. The people works hard, which they call travail. And where they used to carry a lot of things on their head, all these things now, they got vehicle travel all over the island now. But before, when I was raised up, everything used to carry poté too. Different things. There was no water.
And they used to be on
buick. You had to go to
travel with buick.
What they call buick donkey. Go by the river and fetch water. These days, it's
and people don't do that as often.
No, but nowadays there's nothing like that. Everybody gets standpipe in their home.
Yeah. So what about the traditions of La Rose and La Moïse?
Oh yeah, there was La Rose. Every year they used to celebrate La Rose, because my father was to be king of La Rose and my mother was to be Queen of La Rose, or what you call it, right?
Yes,
and I could remember my father had the what you call it, the hat.
Oh yes. The hat with the crown.
With the crown in the house, and you know, sometimes I used to put it in my head and look in the mirror. Because he was a wild La Rose at the time. You know, but and it's still, the culture is still there, because I remember when my father passed away. And I still got a video. All the La Rose people was dressed La Rose in the church, in the cemetery, and dancing La Rose in his funeral. So,
yeah, I remember seeing that as well. It was really nice. Yeah,
the La Rose people was there with the tambour, with all the dressed like La Rose, and that was for his funeral. La Rose ever come. No.
What's the other one called? Marguerite.
Marguerite,
that's
my
it.
My father was not a Marguerite.
Marguerite is more for fun? For women?
No. Marguerite is just a name.
Oh.
It's just the name for Marguerite. But La Rose, Marguerite. So, but La Rose is La Rose. But they celebrate both of them as different people.
Yeah, which is nice.
Different culture, different people. But and then with the La Rose, you know, everybody knows that. They cook and eat and celebrate.
Yeah, celebrate and stuff
but
like that.
But now they don't do it the same day. Years ago they celebrate and eat the same day, but now they celebrate first and the cooking take place afterwards,
afterwards now. And also, you know, Grandad, what about, you know, when you was growing up, and was there any games or any, that's it, I remember we were saying that Christmas, you said that people used to go from house to house.
Yeah.
And they used to do...
People used to go from house to house and eat and drink. Because I remember when I was young, a truck full what you call Leron James used to come down from Deriso to come where my mom lived and pack, and then bring all the boys down. My mother used to cook. And all of us sit down and eat and drink.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
And then afterwards they return from house to house and sing Christmas
and they
carols.
would sing. They would have their instruments and stuff like that. Saint Lucia has a lot of traditions. A lot of traditions that still happen to this day, and still things that especially within the community that people. How much do you think Saint Lucia has changed since you was younger? What differences have you seen in Saint Lucia, from being a young boy to a young adult to an elderly person? What have you seen? What kind of changes?
Well, Saint Lucia changed a lot because, as I said before, you used to carry water from the river. If you used to go a place they call Maho, carry breadfruit. The breadfruit was so big you couldn't carry more than 3.
How big was it? Big Boapen.
Big Boapen.
Oh,
Good
wow.
Boapen. A place called
Boapen.
Boapen.
Yeah.
But
wow.
nowadays, all this is changed. People go to the forest, used to walk. And I remember as a young boy, my father used to go to the forest every day apart from Saturday and Sunday.
How comes?
He used to have a horse, ride a horse.
Oh, okay. Back and forth?
Backward and forward,
wow.
yeah. Monte Egviwe. But then there's nobody ride them things again. His vehicle take you from A to B, from A to B.
Yes, yes.
Everybody is a lot better than years ago.
It's quicker, it's more convenient.
Well, convenient. Because even years ago, where I used to live at Deriso, people used to walk from Vieux-Fort to Deriso, Deriso to Vieux-Fort, they can marcher.
Wow.
There was no vehicle at them days. But now everybody travel by public transport.
And most people in Saint Lucia have a car. It's quick.
You see, you got all them little bus travel from Vieux-Fort to Castries.
And was there many buses when there wasn't?
There wasn't many. There was only a few little buses.
Yeah.
And you have to go to catch the bus at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to Castries.
Only one bus?
Well, there was about what they call Invest. There was about 3 of them traveling from Vieux-Fort to Castries, and 2 o'clock in the morning you have to get the bus back from Castries back to Vieux-Fort or Deriso.
Wow, that's a long journey. Long journey.
An hour and a half we used to take on the buses. Them old wooden buses years ago.
Yeah, old wooden ones. Wow. There's no more of that now. No more old wooden buses. Okay. No more. So what about the development? Have you seen a big change in the development?
Oh yeah, it's a lot. Everybody building big houses that come from America, Canada, England, back to the West Indies, build a nice home.
Yeah, yeah. And long time ago, it wasn't as.
Long time ago, it's a lot of wooden houses.
Wooden
houses.
Now,
it's all big mansion. Yeah. Everybody build big mansion.
Yeah, Saint Lucia is developing.
A lot.
It's developing a lot. It is developing a lot. It is, yeah. What about the different areas? Have you seen any changes in different areas? Or?
Yeah, well, all the areas are changed. I mean, when I was raised up in Deriso, we used to go to Miko to school and walk backwards and forward every day. Then there was no church in Deriso. We used to have to go to church in Miko.
I remember you saying that. And then they built a church in Deriso.
Then since they do the church in Deriso, none of us goes to Miko again. We go to church in Deriso every Sunday.
Okay.
But before, every Sunday we have to walk from Deriso to Miko and back. Even the people from Poale, from Monripo, used to go to Miko, but see, nowadays every district they put a little church there,
which is nice because it's local and people can be close.
Make it easier for people.
Definitely, even the elderly people, so they're not traveling too much. It's true. It's true. So, okay, next one. This is your favorite one. What is your favorite Saint Lucian food? Manger. Favorite type of food?
Well, everybody likes different food in the island.
But what do you like to eat?
My favorite food is sweet potato and breadfruit. And I used to love yellow yam.
With no poisson?
Oh yes, we make fish gravy or pork, whatever gravy we call it. But I remember my father used to put everything together and pawn it with a pilon. Pony.
Oh, what? So it's all like all together?
Yeah, you put the dashing, the yam, the breadfruit all together like a pony.
So how would you eat it then, Grandad? Just
it mash up like a
okay.
It's soft.
And that was nice. I've never heard. Okay. Yeah. Oh wow. So he mashed everything up together. So it was kind of like puree.
Yeah. Soft. And then he just mix it with the food with the gravy, and eat it.
Wow, I never knew that. Wow,
call that pilon.
Pilon. Nice.
Yeah. So
a lot of hard food, dashing, potato, sweet potato,
mostly
fish.
the yellow yam and the plantain was hard. But he used to mix everything together.
And it tastes good.
Yeah.
I have to try that one day. I've never had it like that before.
Yeah.
I only have it separate. I've never had it all together.
My father used to put everything together.
And he used to make good meals.
You just boil it and make everything and then do the gravy separate.
Okay. You're gonna have to make that, Grandad, one day. We'll try it.
We'll try it.
Oh yeah, we'll try it.
I've got a little pillow down there.
Okay. And last question before we move on to some words in Creole. What type of Saint Lucia music music do you like?
Well, years ago it was only calypso, but since the reggae and thing come out, I used to listen to a lot of reggae and calypso.
So years ago, because you grew up a lot on calypso, didn't you, Grandad? You grew a lot on listening.
Calypso, that was to be years ago. But since the young generation comes on, they play more reggae.
Yeah.
And soca and.
Yeah.
But years ago there was more calypso.
More calypso. And so what about country western?
Oh, sorry, country and western and calypso. Yeah.
Yes, you like.
But nowadays it's more country and western now.
Yeah.
Everywhere the weekends, everywhere you pass, you go in the round shop, in the back.
I do hear it a lot.
Country,
even when we was in Saint Lucia, I heard it. Even on the radio.
Yeah.
On the radio, I heard it a lot.
Certain parts every one day in the week they play all country and western on the radio.
Yeah, and then obviously you have calypso that then turned into soca. And we have some Saint Lucian artists, some really good Saint Lucian artists. And I played some to Grandad. We have then we segment, which is like, it's basically soca. And I like it because a lot of the artists speak in Creole, which is really, really nice. Especially that young generation to kind of hear, you know, carry on the language and continue it as well, which is nice. But yeah, calypso, soca, reggae. You know, but I feel like Saint Lucians listen to all types of music. I don't think
but there's more country and western. If there's a dance, all what they tell you is a country and western dance. Certain places taking place in the island, and they all.
Yeah, there's a range of music. If I could think of a music that I like, I would say I like country to a certain extent. It's not something that I listen to, but I can listen to it, and obviously calypso and soca as well, and the Saint Lucian artists as well.
Saint Lucia is a country and western. Everywhere you go, dance is country and western.
Yeah,
For
and
the
the two-step.
The people over there, they like it.
Yes, they do. They do a lot. We're gonna end the video with some basic Creole words to help anyone that is on their journey of learning Creole. Moi apprends parler Creole, so I'm relearning, should I say, because I've been learning on and off. My gwanpapa has taught me little words growing up, but now as an adult, and I feel like for the last few years I've just been taking it seriously. And it's possible. So this is your message, whoever's watching this. If you want to learn Creole, please just learn it. Please don't be scared. Please don't feel embarrassed. If you make mistakes, you make mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes, and this is why I have my gwanpapa here to help me, okay? So we're going to share with you just some basic words that you can use if you have anyone that is Saint Lucia within your family, or even if you're going to Saint Lucia as well. We'll say the words in English, and then we're going to translate them in Creole, okay? The first one we're going to say is hello. And to say hello in Creole, you say bonjour.
Bonjour.
To say good afternoon, you say bon après-midi. Bon après-midi. And to say good night, you going to say that, Grandad?
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. So that is good night. To say how are you, you could say comment oye. Comment ye. Comment ye?
Yeah, comment ye.
Or could you say also, Grandad, sakafet, even though
sakafet means is
that what's up?
What do you call it? Like sakafet is just a word the people develop by themselves. Sakafet.
It's like kind of the same thing, kind of what's up kind of thing.
Yeah. It's a what do you call lag? What do you say anyway? But
like a slang. Like a slang. Because sakafet is also used in a lot of other Caribbean countries.
Is a slang.
Yeah, it's a fit. Sakafet. Yeah, you probably heard that as well from music and stuff like that. We're gonna also teach you numbers. So let's count up to 10, Grandad. Right, we'll go so. Yon. Say with me. Yon. De. Trois. Quatre. Cinq. Six. Sept. Huit. Neuf. 10. Yay! And that is 10. Okay.
Count up to
so
10.
Let's try again. Ready? Yon. De. Trois. Quatre. Cinq. Six. Sept. Huit. Neuf. And 10. That's 10. We're not going to go over 11. But the numbers going up is quite easy to learn. one thing when you're learning the numbers, just remember that there's a certain number that goes in front, and then you basically add yon, there, toi afterwards. It's pretty easy, but I'm still learning and practicing my numbers as well. So let's say, how do you say thank you, Grandad?
Merci.
Merci. So very similar to French, like literally the same. Merci. And how do you say please? And please is s'il vous plaît.
Yeah.
S'il vous plaît. Okay. All right. How would you say, Grandad? You can share this one. How would you say, how much is that?
Combien. How much mean combien?
Combien.
Yeah.
Combien. So
if you want to buy something, say how much is that shoes? Combien pour soulier ça?
So how much is the shoes?
How much is the shoes? Combien pour soulier?
Combien pour soulier?
Yeah.
Aimé. Okay. So how much is the shoes? So yeah, you could use that as well and put any other word. Yeah.
Or how much is that plate? Combien pour place ça?
Yeah. And you can just add your words, your Creole words that you're learning into that as well. What is your name? Yes, come on, no. And then I would, so what is your name is come on, no. And then I would say, moi c'est Chantis. And Grandad would say,
Prentice.
Yeah, moi c'est Prento, Prentice or Marshall. Yeah. So yeah, that's how you say it. So come on, no is what is your name, and then you will respond as moi. So moi means I. Moi c'est Chantis. Moi c'est whatever your name is.
Yeah.
All right. So last one, and you can end this one, Grandad. How would you say, where are you from?
Well, in patois.
Yes.
Moi sorti de Ruisseau. Moi levé, I was up in between Miku and Deriso. C'est là moi levé, c'est là moi fait.
So where would you say? How would you say, where are you from, if you was asking someone?
Koto sorti, mais koto fait. C'est where he was born, or koto fait. Koto fait mean where he was born.
Where he was born.
The next one, koto kawete. Where about you live in the island. In the island, where about you live? Say Deriso, Miku, Belleville, you know.
And how would you respond if you was to tell someone where you would live in Creole?
Well, at the moment now, but when I was young, I live in Miku village. Right? But now, since I've grown up, I travel, I'm mostly basic in London. Mais moi, Saint Lucia tous les l'année. So I'm mostly from Deriso, Miku.
Yes. Traveler.
C'est là mon levé. Deriso, Miku.
Yes. We're going to wrap this video up right now. I really hope that you enjoyed the video. Did you enjoy filming with me, Grandad?
Yes, nice to talk on the video to listen the young people, young generation or old generation.
And what would be your message to the younger Saint Lucians?
Well, the younger Saint Lucian, nowadays they wasn't speaking patois, but I understand now. They all speaking patois, but it's very likely to learn the patois or the creole. Because if you go to France, different places, you could, help yourself to others. And, the people in Saint Lucia now, as far as I understand, they are learning the patois language, the young generation.
They are. And how does it make you feel as an older man seeing younger people learning Creole?
Very great, because my granddaughter is there with me now, trying to learn the patois. So when she go to Saint Lucia, she know how to speak English.
Yes, I am.
She could use the patois to the older people.
Yes.
Who cannot really understand English.
And how do you feel about me learning Creole?
Well, I'm very pleased that she's learned to learn Kweyol. So when you go to Saint Lucia, you could take Kweyol to the Saint Lucian people, and she might give them a shock.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's also that, and it's also, as I've explained to my Grandad and saying that I've shared, it's also important for me to preserve the language, because for me, my Grandad is the only one, and obviously family members that speak Creole. And for me, it's like it's just very important to learn your mother tongue. Both of my parents were born here, but my grandparents are West Indian, and it's just important for me to learn. That was his first probably way of communicating. So it's important for me, and out of respect as well. And I love Creole. I just want to be able to gain my confidence. And that's another thing I want to share with you as well. If you want to learn, if you feel a bit nervous, just do it, because once you do it, it's going to be like, and Grandad, don't I make mistakes all the time? Sometimes I say things wrong.
Correctly.
Yes, oui. And he corrects me, and mistakes are good. That's how you learn, that's how you learn. But we're going to wrap the video up, and we want to say Bon Fête Jounen Kweyol. Have a happy Jounen Kweyol month. Creole Heritage Month, whatever you're doing. I know in Saint Lucia they are doing a lot of celebrations, and we wish we were there, but we will be home in a few months, so we are getting excited for that. But yes, in Saint Lucia they're doing loads of celebrations. You should definitely check out. I'm gonna tag the links below so you can follow and see the events that are happening as well, and how you can support too. So we're going to end the video here. I hope that you enjoyed watching. Make sure that you are following me on my social medias at Saint Lucia, and also make sure that you are checking out my website to stay updated and connected with me as well. So, Grandad, you want to end the video like you did last time?
Yes.
Yeah?
Bonjour. Have a lovely day. Have a nice day.
Bonne journée à passer, Jodia. Have a good day. Have a good day today. Yes. Dede. Bye bye.